is Teresa Grimes. This is a story that has been on my mind for 60-some years now. It is about my sisters, Barbara and Petey. Her real name is Patricia Kathleen, but we always called her Petey. She was tall for her age, 12 plus, but very graceful and pretty. Barbara Jean, 15, was very petite and also pretty. We were a poor family. My mother worked hard for us. She said she didn't have to worry about us being kidnapped because we were poor. Little did she know what would happen to our family.
There is a moment in every city's history when innocence ends. A single event that divides time into before and after. For Chicago, that moment came in the winter of 1957, though the full horror would not be revealed until the first month of 1958. And when it was, the city would never look at its children the same way again. December 28, 1957, a Saturday night. Chicago's McKinley Park neighborhood hummed with the quiet rhythms of working-class life. Immigrant families, factory workers, railroad men, people who believed in hard work and simple pleasures. In the Grimes household, 15-year-old Barbara and her 13-year-old sister Patricia were buzzing with excitement. An Elvis Presley double feature was playing at the Brighton Theater on Archer Avenue. Elvis was everything to teenage girls in 1957. His music, his hips, his sneer. Barbara and Patricia were no exception. They had been talking about it all week. Their mother, Loretta Grimes, hesitated. She was a single mother raising 5 children, working hard to keep the family together. It was cold. The girls were young, but the theater was close, just a few blocks away. Barbara was responsible. She would look after Patricia. They promised to come straight home after the movie. Finally, Loretta relented. Barbara and Patricia pulled on their coats, buttoned them against the December chill, and walked out the door into the Chicago night. They were never seen alive again. The Brighton Theater was packed that night. Elvis fans filled every seat. The double feature ran long, as movies did in those days. When it ended around 9:30 p.m., the sisters were seen briefly outside the theater, standing near the ticket booth, perhaps waiting for friends or deciding which way to walk home. Then they vanished. No one saw them leave. No one saw them get into a car. No one heard them scream. They simply disappeared into the night. Loretta Grimes waited. Midnight came. 1 in the morning. 2. She paced the floor, stared out the window, prayed to a god she was not sure was listening. By dawn, she knew something was terribly wrong. She called the police. What followed was one of the largest missing persons searches in Chicago history. Police combed the neighborhood. Detectives interviewed friends, classmates, anyone who might have seen the girls. The case became front-page news. For weeks, Chicago held its breath. Posters of Barbara and Patricia appeared in store windows, on telephone poles, in every police station in the city. Their faces smiled out at a city desperate to find them. Thousands of tips poured in. Sightings were reported across several states. Each one was investigated. Each one led nowhere. And then, on January 22, 1958, nearly 1 month after they disappeared, the answer came. But it brought no relief. A motorist driving through Willow Springs, a small town southwest of Chicago, noticed something strange in a wooded area off German Church Road. A flash of color among the brown winter brush. He stopped his car and walked toward the trees. What he found would haunt him for the rest of his life. 2 bodies, frozen solid, lying in the undergrowth. One partially draped over the other, as if they had been thrown there like refuse. The clothing, what remained of it, was disheveled. The faces were unrecognizable, distorted by exposure and the passage of time. Police arrived quickly. The scene was chaotic. Word had spread. Reporters swarmed the area before proper protocols could be established. Before photographs could be taken, before evidence could be properly documented, someone moved the bodies. Someone picked up the frozen girls and carried them from the woods. Evidence was compromised. Details were lost. The crime scene, such as it was, became irreparably contaminated. To this day, investigators lament the chaos of that morning, the well-meaning but devastating interference that may have destroyed the only chance at justice. The autopsies revealed horrors. The girls had been raped. Their clothing was never found. Not a single scrap, not a button, not a thread. They had been left in the woods for weeks, through fluctuating temperatures that should have accelerated decomposition, yet they were found frozen solid. The medical examiner could not determine the cause of death. Strangulation? Blunt force? Exposure? The bodies yielded no answers. Stomach contents offered nothing definitive. A fragment of banana was found in one girl's digestive tract, but that told them nothing useful. The only certainty was that Barbara and Patricia Grimes were dead, and someone had done unspeakable things to them. The city reacted with grief and fury. Thousands of people attended the funeral. Loretta Grimes, now a figure of tragic dignity, stood at the center of a storm she could never have imagined. She buried her daughters on a gray January day, the cameras flashing, the crowd pressing in. She would later say that she felt nothing in that moment, nothing at all, as if her heart had frozen along with her children. Detectives worked around the clock. They interviewed hundreds of people. They chased leads across state lines. They brought in suspects and released them. One man confessed repeatedly, but could never provide details that matched the evidence. Another was identified by a witness, but had an alibi that checked out. The case consumed the Chicago Police Department for months, then years. Task forces were formed and dissolved. Theories multiplied. And yet, no one was ever charged. No one was ever convicted. The Grimes sisters' case went cold and has never been solved. Over the decades, the theories have only grown. Some believe the girls were victims of a known sex offender who operated in the area. Others pointed to a local man whose behavior had always seemed off, whose name surfaced repeatedly in witness statements but never led to charges. Still others whispered of a broader conspiracy, of powerful men protected by powerful friends, of a network of predators who operated with impunity in the 1950s. But none of these theories ever produced an arrest. None of them ever brought closure. The Grimes sisters' case changed Chicago. Before December 1957, children roamed freely. They walked to school alone. They played in the streets until dark. They went to movies without parents. After the Grimes sisters, that freedom ended. Parents kept their children closer. Stranger danger became a household phrase. The city's collective sense of safety was shattered, and it has never fully recovered. A generation of Chicagoans grew up with the faces of Barbara and Patricia burned into their memory, a constant reminder that evil could strike anywhere, anytime, without warning. For Loretta Grimes, the loss was permanent and unending. She lived another 30 years, dying in 1988, but she never stopped hoping for answers. She never stopped waiting for the phone call that would tell her who took her daughters and why. That call never came. In her final years, she gave interviews, always with the same plea: someone knows something. Someone must know something. Please, before I die, tell me what happened to my girls. Today, the case remains open in the files of the Chicago Police Department. A cold case, a box of evidence and photographs and witness statements that grows dustier with each passing year. DNA technology has advanced, but the evidence that might yield genetic profiles was compromised long ago. The witnesses are old or dead. The suspects, if they ever existed, have taken their secrets to the grave. But for those who remember, for those who lived through that winter of 1957 and its terrible aftermath, the Grimes sisters are not forgotten. They are the symbol of a loss that transcends one family, one neighborhood, one city. They are the moment when innocence ended. Every child who came home late after that night, every parent who waited up worried, every door locked a little earlier. All of it traces back to two girls who went to see an Elvis movie and never came back. What happened to Barbara and Patricia Grimes? The answer lies somewhere in the woods of Willow Springs, in the compromised evidence of a contaminated crime scene, in the memories of people who are now very old or already gone. Perhaps the truth will never be known. Perhaps the killer took it to his grave. Perhaps the mystery is all that remains. But the question endures. Two girls went to see an Elvis movie and never came home. Their bodies were found frozen in the woods a month later, and no one was ever held accountable. There is a reason this story has survived for nearly 70 years. There is a reason it continues to haunt those who hear it. It is not just about murder. It is about the fragility of safety, the limits of justice, and the terrifying randomness of evil. It is about a mother's grief and a city's shame. It is about two faces on a poster that could not be saved. If you have any information about the murders of Barbara and Patricia Grimes, please contact the Chicago Police Department's Cold Case Unit. Somewhere, someone knows the truth. What do you remember about the world before the Grimes sisters? What changed after? Tell us in the comments. World Foretold.